Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style.
And I'm Jill Chivers from 16 Star Types. And today we're going to talk to you about this whole idea of if nobody sees you but you, does what you wear matter? And if it does, how does it matter and in what way does it matter? And we suspect that there are different perspectives on this and maybe even a spectrum from it always matters to it never matters. And for me, this part of this came up was sharing something online about even if nobody sees me, I like to be coordinated. It affects my well-being. I like for my things to coordinate, even if I'm just looking at myself, looking down, not even looking at myself in a mirror.
Yes.
And I remember once going into Bunnings, big hardware store chain here in Australia, probably very similar to Home Depot in the US, and somebody saying, "I really love your outfit," and we had been painting that day, and my cap and my clogs happened to match. You'll never guess they were leopard print, but I was wearing painting gear, and somebody actually said, "I don't like what you're wearing," and I thought, wow, that's just so intriguing.
And it's interesting because when you commented about how you like to always coordinate, and then you actually said to somebody else, and she was like, "I never ever think of that. It just would never occur to me."
Yeah.
And I know for myself that even if I think I'm not going out, I'm not meeting anyone, I'm not doing anything, I still like to dress in a way that feels stylish. Even if it's very casual,
Yeah.
it needs to be coordinated or go together in some way, because for me, it's a very internal feeling.
Yes.
Because every time I go to the bathroom and I see myself in a mirror, I don't. If I don't make any effort, I just get this. Like it depresses me. So when I think, oh, I look okay, and I could wear this out, or if somebody happened to drop over, or I need to suddenly dash out, that I'd be more than happy for people to see me in it. And I think there's probably something there, but it's definitely very much an internal. Like I don't feel as good in myself when I'm not dressed in a way that I think is at least kind of passable.
Yeah, and to me it's a very similar thing in terms of relationship to myself. It's really about how I'm feeling about myself. And I know if I'm either feeling, particularly slothful and lazy, they might be sort of not quite getting out of the pajama days. I don't do that on work days. There was a thing when I first started working online, it was almost like a badge of honour. Hey, you can work in your pajamas till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I never once did it, but I had a couple of days where it was sort of late into the morning, and I never felt good about myself. To me, that was never a positive, that I could be working on actual paid work wearing pajamas. So to me there's always a sense of it lifts me, it gives me some sense of shape to my day and myself, and it makes me feel good about myself when I've put some effort into it. And if I'm having, say, a down day where I am feeling a little bit low or a bit lost, or whatever it is, for you, I'm sure you can understand what I mean, then that is reflected. It's harder to put more effort. You think, oh, it's just a bridge too far to put earrings on, or make things actually make me feel good rather than I'm just not naked anymore.
Yes, and I think it's fascinating because part of this goes into the field of enclothed cognition, which is all about how our brain deals with the symbolism of many pieces of clothing as well. So, like if you associate a certain look with a certain activity, it makes you feel a certain way.
Right.
And so particularly, say, if I'm working, I want to feel like I'm competent and credible and all those things, because then I'm going to be better in my, my own self, whatever I'm producing that day.
Yeah.
So I don't want to wear clothes that don't make me feel like that.
Yeah.
So there are those aspects as well. So brain, and what they do, when they do this research is like, go test people of, do it with this clothes on, do the same thing with some other clothes on, and see the difference.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's really quite fascinating research. But yeah, so there's those kind of aspects come into deciding what to wear.
Yeah.
And too, so for me, I work at home a lot by myself. That sometimes to me, the instant, thing might be, maybe I need to take an outfit photo, like for this blog post. So what am I going to put together that's going to work to illustrate that?
Yeah.
So that actually is my motivation to put something together, even if nobody sees it apart from the photo I took and the neighbours who are driving by as I'm taking the photo outside the front of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's interesting to think about, if nobody sees you but you, does it make a difference what you're wearing? And if it does, where does that difference lie? How does it affect your emotional state, or your sense of well-being, or your sense of who you are, or what the day is about, or how short life is, or whatever it is, prosaic or philosophical those things are, I think it's a really interesting thing to think about.
I did read some research by Dr. Karen Pine, who I'm pretty sure it was her who had in one of her research was that when people are feeling depressed, they are more likely to wear sloppy clothes.
Yeah.
Versus, so we'll keep our good clothes for good now, and so therefore, when we put our good clothes on, if we're not feeling great, putting your good clothes on can actually help lift your mood. Versus wearing those sloppy clothes, I know for me, just drags me down.
Yeah.
So if you are in that, like, I need to be not naked, but I haven't got the mental space, and that can sometimes happen, is this is where having the beauty of the go-to outfit, like going, I just know these outfits work and I feel good in them. I can just put it on, like I'm not having to think about it. I'm not creating something new today. I'm just putting together something that I know works. And I think this is where having those sets of outfits that you go, I've got these 10 outfits that I'm always happy in. And I can just go there if that's what I need to do.
Yeah. I think grooming is also an interesting one, because I sometimes have makeup-free days where I'm not leaving the house and it's just me, and I like that. I also feel it's sort of good for the skin, although I wear good makeup. But it's also interesting to think about, the whole spectrum. And for me, it always starts with teeth cleaning. That's always necessary, and then sort of move up from there. But interesting research about when people have been diagnosed with depression, one of the things that is a signal that people are coming out of that is paying closer attention to personal hygiene, things like wanting to have clean hair and paying greater attention to other forms of hygiene. So it's also highly connected to our emotional states.
Yes, it absolutely is. So we'd love you to tell us, do you get dressed, in a stylish way, no matter who you're seeing or not seeing? Or are you one of these people who just goes, nobody's seeing me, it really doesn't matter? Like, we'd be really interested to know your thoughts on this topic.